Hey folks, I'm Banana, and today we'll be talking about the Brewmaster Talent Blackout Combo. Blackout Combo is not typically recommended for newer Brewmaster players as it does add a fair bit of complexity to your gameplay, but if you're new and looking to dive in head first, or just looking to change up your playstyle, the single point cost of Blackout Combo can provide a ton of value if played correctly. So what is Blackout Combo? Casting Blackout Kick provides you with the Blackout Combo buff, augmenting the next cast of one of several of your abilities. Let's take a look at what these combos are and how viable each choice is before we go into how this actually fits into your rotation. This first section will be assuming that you're playing with Weapons of Order, however there will be a section near the end that covers usage changes with Press the Advantage. Our first option is going to be Tiger Palm. When comboing, the damage of Tiger Palm is increased by 100%. Tiger Palm is going to be your bread and butter default option for the vast majority of situations. It already does a significant amount of damage with talents like Counter Strike and Facepalm, so comboing just adds an additional modifier on top of that. Both Brewmaster hero talent trees also further incentivize using Tiger Palm with talents like Overwhelming Force in the Master of Harmony tree and Efficient Training in the Shadowpan tree. Even in cleave and AoE situations, Tiger Palm provides great priority target damage and should be your primary Blackout Combo consumer. Our second combo option is Breath of Fire. This combo increases the damage of your next Breath of Fire by 50% and increases the damage reduction provided by an additional 5% for a total of 10%. Though it isn't specified in the tooltip, the 50% damage increase is specific to the initial damage of Breath of Fire and not the damage over time effect. However, the additional damage reduction is linked to the dot directly. This means if you combo a Breath of Fire and apply the 10% damage reduction to your target, and then recast an unbuffed Breath of Fire, it will overwrite your debuff and go back to the base 5%. With current tuning, Breath of Fire is a fairly weak damage ability. In most target counts, comboing Tiger Palm will still be the better option, and the main reason you want to combo Breath of Fire would be for the additional damage reduction. Our third option is Keg Smash. This combo causes Keg Smash to provide an additional 2 seconds of brew cooldown reduction. This should be an infrequently used option as overall it's a fairly small defensive gain with virtually no DPS contribution. The only damage this combo provides is if you're also playing Special Delivery, as you're getting slightly more brew casts as a result. But if damage is the goal, Tiger Palm is still going to be your best bet. A somewhat niche example of when comboing a Keg Smash could be beneficial would be if the additional 2 seconds of Brew CDR gave you access to Celestial Brew for a mechanic you otherwise wouldn't have it for, but Celestial Brew has a fairly short cooldown to begin with, and Brewmaster has access to a number of defensive options to fill in gaps between Celestial Brew casts. Our next combo option is going to be with Celestial Brew. Comboing this spell grants you up to 3 additional stacks of the Purified Chi buff. Purified Chi is the buff you get when using Purifying Brew that increases the effectiveness of your next Celestial Brew. The buff itself stacks up to 10 times, so comboing will add up to 3 stacks to your current stack count, not exceeding 10 total stacks. This combo is also fairly niche, as a slightly larger Celestial Brew will seldom be the difference between life and death. With current preseason tuning and gear, Celestial Brew does absorb a much smaller amount of damage comparative to our total health pool than it did during Dragonflight, so it is fine to combo Celestial Brew here and there if you want a slightly bigger absorb, but as we continue to get into more difficult content, and you naturally get stacks of Purified Chi more easily, you should feel the desire to combo Celestial Brew less and less. Our last combo option is Purifying Brew. This combo pauses stagger damage for 3 seconds. This does not remove any additional damage from your stagger pool, and you'll continue to stagger additional damage. The stagger dot itself just won't tick for 3 seconds. This combo should effectively never be used. It simply delays stagger damage, but does not clear or prevent any damage intake. It's important to note that accidentally consuming Blackout Combo with Purifying Brew is quite easy because Purifying Brew is off the global cooldown. This will just require you to pay slightly more attention to when you have the Blackout Combo buff available before you press Purifying Brew, but it won't result in any significant rotational changes. We've covered a lot of info so far, so here's the TLDR. Tiger Palm should be used to consume nearly all of your Blackout combos regardless of target count. Breath of Fire should be used primarily for the additional 5% damage reduction, though its damage does scale with high target counts. Both Keg Smash and Celestial Brew combos should be pretty rare, but can be a viable defensive option in some specific scenarios. Lastly, you should try to never combo with Purifying Brew. Now let's talk about Press the Advantage. In general, I don't recommend ever playing with Press the Advantage, as it adds complexity to your gameplay, but is still a damage loss over Weapons of Order, but as always, play what you like. If you are playing Press the Advantage, then all of the prior information is still the same, with the largest difference being the loss of Tiger Palm. Because of this, the majority of your Blackout combos will instead alternate between Keg Smash and Breath of Fire. Rising Sun Kick gains an interaction with Blackout Combo if you're playing Press the Advantage due to the relationship between Press the Advantage and Tiger Palm modifiers. All this means is that you'll want to have the Blackout Combo buff active prior to pressing your 10-stack Rising Sun Kick. This will cause the duplicated Rising Sun Kick from Press the Advantage to have an additional 50% damage modifier. Rotationally, Blackout Combo doesn't change the buttons you press, but may influence the order in which you press them. Abilities that don't directly interact with Blackout Combo do not consume the buff. This means that a number of rotational spells, such as Rushing Jade Wind, Chi Burst, Exploding Keg, and Rising Sun Kick, can all be used in between your Blackout Kick casts and the ability that you're looking to consume the buff with. As an example, let's say you just pressed Blackout Kick and your plan is to consume your Blackout Combo buff with a Tiger Palm, but at the same time, your Rising Sun Kick is coming off of cooldown and your Rushing Jade Wind buff is falling. Prior to consuming your Blackout Combo buff with that Tiger Palm, you could first press both Rising Sun Kick and Rushing Jade Wind, and then consume your buff with Tiger Palm before proceeding to press another Blackout Kick to start your rotation over again. This level of optimization is not required to play Blackout Combo at a base level, but does leave room to grow towards the skill ceiling. Hopefully this video gave you a decent understanding of what Blackout Combo is and how it's used. As always, if you have any additional questions, feel free to ask in the comments, and if you don't mind, Keg Smash that like button and subscribe for more Brewmaster content.